Pardon me just a minute. And now, bum 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 ba-dum. Soon, my audience. Soon I shall be in here. Oh no, I won't, because I forgot to do one thing. Yeah, there we go. And whoa. Okay. Pop out chat. And hello. Yeah, I just want to let you know that today we're going to be making a rather studious wizard type. I know the title of the video says Sorceress, but Studious Sorceress sounds better than Studious Wizard. You just had a bit of... Hello, Carlton. And hello, William. This is Carlton. Obviously, he heard me start speaking and decided he wanted to come by and say hi. Isn't that right, little buddy? And then embed himself under my nose. Alright, come on down. Ah, let go of the shirt. No, get away from the mic. Let go of the shirt. Little Velcro kitty. There you go. Okay. Hi, Kim. Yeah. Last week, my Wednesday night D&D game, well, 2 weeks ago, Wednesday night D&D game finally finished up the campaign we were on a rather anticlimactic note. We failed. And we started Dragon Heist Waterdeep. To be exact, last week was session 0, making characters. So I decided that since this campaign we're actually going to be using the map, I'm going to make miniatures for the party, or at least for the stable members of the party. I don't mean stable as in up here, I mean stable as in always there, or there most of the time. And this first character is a sorceress. Well, I say first character. Truth is, I actually made the miniature for this character many moons ago for mine. And of course, as you can see, painted him and got him all ready to kick some hiney in Waterdeep. Excellent, TJ. Well, tonight I'm going to be making the sorceress. Now the thing is, her two primary props I don't have in my directory. She uses a wand as her primary focus and carries around her spell book in her arms. Not like the explorer from Hero Forge, but like, you know, closed and under her arm and pressed up against her. You know, using my monster manual as an example, like that. Not that. And when asked about her clothing, she said that she wanted it rather like the robes in Skyrim. Now, I don't think she meant the plain robes as just robe. I think she meant something like what Mirabelle Irvine is using. And for those who aren't sure what that looks like, adding media file. Where did I put it? There it is. Mirabelle Irvine. From the College of Winterhold. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her full, unlike this, she's going to have full-length robe. She's going to have a toga-like piece over one shoulder in front, and that's going over a mantle. That's as much as I'm going to copy from this, because we don't want to make an exact copy. That's the whole copyright problem. And yes, I do have the picture currently up, and yeah. Alright, let me see. Loose braid. Okay, that tells me what I need to know. She's got a loose braid too. So, we are going to start off. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. I am going to go ahead and switch to 3D Studio Max so I can make our props. First things first is I'm going to import from my directory the female geometry. Oh no, not this version. No. Let's delete that. Let's go ahead and go to Dad Studio. I have slightly tweaked proportions. File, export. This is going to Broadcast Miniatures New, Z-Form. Now, for those who haven't seen it before, this is my usual export stats. There are a couple things that aren't in the default, because I'm actually using a build that's, I use this for work, so I have the work build. But it's custom, 100%, ignore invisible nodes, use bone welds, write UV coordinates, write faces, write polylines, write groups with use existing groups, write surfaces, write material library, and original maps. Then I come back over to this file, import, Broadcast Miniatures New, there's that Z-Form. There we go, that's where she is. Now, her wand is going to be in her left arm, so I'm going to base it here. We're going to start with a cylinder, because most wands are nothing but cylinders. I'm going to pull it back behind. It's going to stick out a little bit behind her hand. Behind her hand, excuse me. We want this to be at least 2 millimeters. Oh no, not 2 millimeters. Yeah, 2 millimeters. No, starting off we want it to be 0.6, 1.2. Because there's going to be sections that are going to be longer. And we're going to make it rather long. Because we're not going to be like J.K. Rowling and end up designing wands that are about that big. A lot of her wands were only about as long as my hand. They would stick out maybe that far. Just as an example, where did I put it? Hold on a second. It fell over back behind some of these other prints. This is my personal wand. Yes, I modeled it and printed it out. This is about how long I picture wands to be. And you can see me down here in the bottom of the corner, down here. And I think this would be about how long a wand should be. When I picture them being used in D&D, this is how long I picture them. So, this is about 16 inches. 16. Half again longer than most of the wands described by J.K. Rowling. And only 2 inches shorter than Hagrid's wand is supposed to be. 2. 2 inches shorter than Hagrid's wand, and it doesn't look that big, does it? No. Anyway, so her wand is going to be at least the size of a dagger, if not slightly more. Now, let's zoom in. We need to top off the cap segments from 1 to 2 so that we get the full radius, and the sides down to 10. Now, we're going to make this a very basic wand in terms of no fancy jiggy-jaggies. So let's see. From the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 6 segments. Okay, and we edible poly. Now we're going to take these, bring them forward, bring this back to about here, bring this one back to about here, and this one back about halfway. Then we're going to shrink this just a bit, shrink the selection and pull it out, shrink the selection again and pull it out just a little bit so that we'll end up with a rounded off tip. Now we're going to select here and we're going to make it a little bit wider and pull it back so we have a little bit of a bulge on the back of our wand. And then finally, we're going to select here. We're going to extrude by local normal and shrink it till it's about there. Accept. Now, the next thing we're going to do is going to be kind of weird, just to... Let's edge those spaces so we can see them all. Okay, loop. Now, we're going to bring this back to here, just so we can pull it out a little bit. We're going to select both of these and pull them back to just ahead of the hand. And then this one back to here. Then we're going to select those. We're just going to add one more edge loop. Then we're going to select this edge loop and all of these. Loop. And we now have those 3 loops. The edge here. Oh, the edge here. The edge down around here. Around here, and the edge around the top back here. And we're going to chamfer them to 0.01 and accept. And what that's going to do, that's going to sharpen those edges and make them a bit more. Now we're going to select these, we're going to connect them, and we're going to use the slide to slide them all the way up to -95. What that's going to do is that's going to make sure that it stays sharp near there. Now, I go back to regular. I hit smooth. We want one smoothing group. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to select all of these. We're going to shrink them down just a little bit this way. And we need it to be a little bit longer, so we're going to make it just a little bit longer this way. Actually, let's grow to there and to there. And to there. We don't want to make it too thin because then it'll be difficult to print. So we go a little bit thicker. Now, next thing is I hit Mesh Smooth. 1 gives us our general shape. 2, it refines the edges. And there is our wand. Collapse all. Now the thing is, I need to make sure that this is about in the right spot for her hand, so let's... Now, I need to move the center, move the pivot point. Now this pivot point will only affect it while it's in 3D Studio Max. It will not affect it any other time. And I'm going to make sure to pivot it 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 degrees. And then switch it to, alright, so here. Now we're going to pivot it 45 degrees this way. Because it's going to be held against the hand diagonally. Once again, holding a wand like this, see what I'm doing here? It sits against the palm diagonally when you handshake grip, which is also technically what I should have done with the rapier, but oh well. Whereas with a meteor weapon, meaty weapon, like this Viking style sword, I can't get it, there we go. It almost is perfectly flat to the hand. Now, let me slide that back in there. Okay. There we go. No. Dadgummit. There. Stay. I never did, or rather, I printed out the wall hanger for the sword, but I never put it up. Anyway, so now we're going to come in and we're going to make sure it's up against the hand properly, and it looks like it is, so we're going to export it from here. Well, export selected, wavefront OBJ, and then into let's go ahead and take it into broadcast miniatures. New wand. Export. Done. Delete. And hello, Mark. Give me just 1 second. I gotta check something real quick. Okay.